I understood the world inside my home was very different than the world outside of it. Anything from having my grandmother curing meat in the old style in the garage rafters, to the fact when I would go over to my friend's house and their mothers would work on baking cookies, which is not something we did at home. And so I think in some ways, being able to see and sense that difference and articulate it to myself from early on, that's part of what makes me a writer. Learning how to get at the inside of things and outside of them, and really asking questions like why. And if my parents couldn't or wouldn't tell me, I sought answers in books. And again, I think that's what helped shape me as a writer. My childhood heroes, Little Women, Little House on the Prairie, Anne of Green Gables, the narrators in all these books were headstrong young women who dreamed of becoming writers, and they did so. And knowing that such a thing was possible helped inspire me and guide me as I grew up, and inspires me still.
I've got to give you major props for being a fan of Little House on the Prairie, because I tried sitting through one of those episodes. It was just boring to me. Maybe it's because I was like a boy obsessed with GI Joes and wrestling and Hulk Hogan and the Junkyard Dog. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if any of those books hold up quite well. Like I remember reading Little Women as an adult and thinking, this is a little bit preachy. But I think I was just fascinated. Say particularly with Little House, just there were long stretches where they're talking about how to make butter, how to blow up a pig's bladder and turn it into a balloon. All of that was very exciting to me as a suburban kid growing up, in the suburbs east of San Francisco.
Well, and that's interesting, because had I known that they were talking about learning how to blow up a pig's bladder, I would have been all in.